Hey, I just got a gift for my 6 weeks challenge. Let's unbox it. Setup was pretty easy. Like, I just connected the cord that came with it to my computer and started working. It might be because I'm using Ableton Live, because I've seen online that you can have challenges with Logic or other DAWs, but it was really straightforward. I want to figure out more stuff with these knobs because I want to be able to tweak the texture of the sound. Oh, I can start here. Oh, nice. So I can just start by hitting this. So I figured out the knobs. So these knobs work and they control this. Now we have to figure out this guy. That just did something to my Ableton. Sorry. This sounds like those Nollywood movies I used to watch growing up. When you're like the village, like Akampopo. If you're not Nigerian, you probably don't understand what I just said, but don't worry about it. These pads are really, really cool. Like, I don't know what it is about them, but they're just so soft and so easy to play. I'm not really good at playing MIDI drums, but like these pads really make it so easy to play. They're also actually really small, and I have a dedicated drum pad there, but I don't even like playing MIDI drums on it, but this is so cool. Okay, now I'm just making noise. So last night I spent all my time just making loops and learning how to use this thing. Today I want to make a song with it in the style of like Joji, dream poppy, but I want the drums to be very Afrobeat inspired. So that's the plan, and I want to do everything using this guy. Of course I'm going to use the bass and play the bass and all of that, but for the most part I want to build out this song around this so I can push this to its limits and just discover more stuff. 105 is a really good spot for Afrobeat type of sound. I don't like that. Maybe I should try this soft one. So that's good enough. Let me just make sure I level this out. And that's part of the good thing about this thing is I can mix and, you know, level out the volumes while I'm trying to build it. Not like you can't do it without this, but it's just much more convenient. I have 2 drum grooves that I kind of like. I'm not sold on them yet, but let's move on to keys. And I think the other thing is this just makes you able to create so quickly. There's a feature I'm going to test. It's called chord map. I can use these pads to control the chords. So that's A minor, E minor, C major. This is already becoming like me selling this product thing, but I'm actually not. I'm just stating what I think is cool about it. Like, I just put in that pad, like the chords, and I can just mess around with the texture of the sound, which it's new for me. Like, I'm obviously new to music production, but these kind of things are new to me. I don't really mess around with knobs and things like that. Nope, not that. Not that, come on, man. Okay, this is quickly turning away from anything I think Joji would use or will be on to some Afrobeat stuff, which is fine. Now, I'm not a great bass player, just started learning, so I do expect this to be rough. Now, so what pattern am I looking for? Wait, there was one pattern I was playing this week. Guess if I do. So it's dum, 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 Okay, so I think I know what I need to play. Let's record a couple bass layers, a couple bass takes. Now that I have everything done, I think if I hit this record button, it should record all of those parts. All right. Oh, this is magical. It's just printing everything out from the loop. Okay, so I've gone ahead to make a basic arrangement, intro, verse, chorus. Now I want to start fleshing out these sections more so that it sounds more like a song instead of like a 4-bar loop, because that's still what it sounds like for the most part. So I think let's first of all attack this chorus. And I want to add one more layer in the chorus, just something that, you know, adds a little bit more spice to that chorus. Like, actually, I'm thinking I'll add a grand piano and then I'm gonna add like a Rhodes, something like this. But I'm gonna use this to get the chord. Not only can you get the chords in the way I got the chords the very first time, you can also change the arrangement of the chords. So like, this is a typical. this is like sorry, that's a C. So this is like an A minor, right? And this is an A minor seventh. But there is another variation of this A minor where you can move the roots to this guy. Sorry. This is also an A minor, right? So like it can help you come up with stuff like that, like so this is an A minor seventh that it came up with, right? It's just more saucy, like it sounds different. It's the same chord, but it sounds different. But for me, I need a C. Okay, let me just play around and see what chords work with this loop. Yeah, so like I would never have come up with these chords because I am limited in my own personal music theory knowledge, but just being able to just mess around with the pads, like these are unique C major, F major, and G major chords that it came up with. Hey, so I've broken the verse up into the intro verse. So like you have the intro of the song, then you have the intro like verse where you say the most important thing on that first line, and I don't want the drums to distract from that. Then the drums come in like not midway into the verse, like almost after that first line. Then, you know, we're starting to pick up speed and I want to drop out. So this is lift 2, right? Things are going to start ramping up more. So like there's space and then we get into the chorus, so the chorus kind of hits harder. That's what I'm going for. But I also am thinking that lift 1, I want to add a couple more ear candy just so that it doesn't feel, obviously when an artist is singing on this, their vocal is also like an additional layer of something that would add to the beat so that it doesn't sound boring, right? I still want to give space for that, but I also just want to have a little bit more sauce to the sound. As someone who isn't great with their like music theory, I can have there's like an A minor pentatonic because I'm trying to figure out melodies, and being able to use that pentatonic is good, but that's not the point. The point is that I can see it on screen and I can, you know, now play around. And now I can see that and now experiment with those notes if I don't really know it off the top of my head. So that's another thing I really like. Now on that note though, something I don't like about this is that screen is too small. Initially, I didn't really care, but now the more I'm using the different things, I'm starting to feel like, come on, this screen should have been bigger so I can see that thing clearer. But it's not a big deal, it's, you know, it's additional stuff. Oh, that sounded nice. I'm sure there's somebody watching this who's just like, bruh, this is horrible. And to you, kind sir, kind ma'am, that's okay. Let's make these keys a little bit more lo-fi. So I'm just going to put all of them on a single boss and just drop this trusted, reliable thing that I use to make things sound lo-fi. Cymatic Origin. So I've done some very light mixing, just side chaining kicks and basses and doing some leveling. Nothing crazy. I didn't really do anything EQing, nothing like that. Let's take a listen to it. Added a little bit of like a vocal chop there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. My final thoughts regarding this. So once again, I spent my money to buy this because I felt like I needed it as part of my workflow, and I felt like it would really help me just be able to be focused on what I'm doing, because I'm not like turning to my MIDI over here, or like just in general, just be able to play the keys while I'm saying exactly what I'm doing without being too distracted. And then also something that could sit on my table relatively comfortably well. I wouldn't say this is the best, and maybe my table is too small, or maybe I need to get rid of this, but it sits comfortably enough where I still have access to my keyboard and my mouse and everything. So no real complaints there, but in general, this thing's phenomenal. It's amazing. The workflow, it helps you unlock the keys, everything. I can't say enough about it. It's perfect. The only downside I have to it is just the screen. That screen is not great. And then also, I think in general, the learning curve was steep, but not too steep. I'm a beginner at all of this, so like it probably is more steep than someone who is more comfortable with MIDIs and all of those kind of things. So that's just my own personal opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the beats. It's not really my type of beats. I think starting with the drum, with the drum in mind, being Afrobeat kind of just made the whole thing Afrobeat, and that's not a problem. I don't mind that. I love Afrobeat. I just don't know how to make Afrobeat music, like write Afrobeat music. That's why I say it's not my type of beat, but I enjoyed making it and I enjoyed playing around with this. But let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know if anybody has tips on how to use this thing better. Let me know. If you have videos, feel free to recommend to me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.